As a relationship coach, I speak with a lot of people who are trying to repair their relationships with their partners. And when you go online looking for advice on how to reconcile and how to repair your relationship, there's this constant talk about this idea of no contact. For those of you who don't know, no contact is purposefully pulling away from contacting your partner or ex-partner to try to draw them in closer. The idea is that this builds up a bit of mystery, creates some distance, and kind of forces them to miss you and miss your presence, right? So the general idea of no contact is pretty toxic and manipulative. But a lot of people have been asking me, is there a healthy way to do no contact? Well, there is one way to do no contact that is not toxic, it's useful, and can actually maximize your chances of reconciling with your ex. But this whole thing is not going to be what you expect. So in this video, I'm going to break down how to do no contact in a non-toxic way, to do it properly, and to maximize your chances of reconciling with your partner. So I can understand the temptation of no contact is pretty huge. When a breakup happens, you want your partner to see you in a different light. You want them to see you're making changes. You know, it's normal to feel like you want your partner to miss you, right? You've had a relationship with them. It's a big change. So I get it. But sometimes when the relationship breaks down, you can go into panic mode and you can try everything to just get your partner back. And oftentimes we can fall into these desperate, needy, and toxic habits just to try to get your partner to see the potential in the relationship that you can see. And you know, especially if you've realized that you've made mistakes and you're wanting to try to repair things, it's normal to want them to start seeing you differently. The problem is that creating this false idea of distance between you and your partner to try to force them to miss you is actually an attempt to control their feelings. It's trying to control them into doing something that they don't want to do. The problem that comes with no contact is that it actually reinforces your partner's negative view of you because they're going to see through the fact that you're pulling away to try to get them to miss you, right? It's kind of like mind games, and this can really be quite toxic. So I understand the temptation, but when you're desperately trying to repair the relationship, doing this reinforces the negative ideas that your partner already has about you. So ultimately, pretending that you're not interested in them is a lie. It's a lie meant to trick them into drawing them closer to you. And it's forcing them to try to miss you instead of allowing them to simply miss you naturally. The tough truth is that no contact doesn't work. And it's going to make it even worse if your partner already has a negative view of you. Even if they do miss you, the emotional discords between you both haven't been resolved. So even if you reconnect, they can still carry that emotional pain. So no contact is not only a terrible idea, it's also really, really ineffective in repairing a relationship. But no contact doesn't have to be toxic. It actually can be a powerful tool for healing and self-reflection after a breakup. You can use no contact to create space for both people to process their emotions and start healing. So your intent in performing no contact really matters. If you're doing it with the wrong intentions or without any real agreement or rules between you and your partner, it can really backfire and it can cause a lot more emotional damage in the relationship. So it's really crucial that you understand that your intentions into why you're doing no contact matters. So what is a healthy way of performing no contact? Well, the healthy way of performing no contact should be focusing on your own healing and focusing on your own growth and building your own skills, not creating a power struggle between you and your ex. This should be about reflecting what went wrong, what you could have done better, and understanding your role in the discords that are being created in the relationship. So you can use this time of no contact to work on things like learning emotional regulation, building self-esteem, developing healthy relationship skills. And just before I move forward, if you do want more videos like this on relationships, communication, and even ADHD, then click the subscribe button for new videos every single week. So how do we do this? Well, the first step is to set yourself a time frame or a goal. So going no contact doesn't mean shutting out your ex forever. Sometimes it can be really helpful to decide how long you'd like to be in no contact for. So for example, 30 days, 60 days, 3 months, whatever it is, and then revisit how you feel afterwards. So having a specific goal or time frame can help you ensure that you're using this period constructively and working on what matters, right? Or simply avoiding your own emotions. The next step is to be clear in your communication. So a lot of the time, making sure that you're being clear with your partner about your intent and having that conversation can help to set their expectations that you're taking it seriously. This creates transparency so both people know that you're taking time apart. But don't make this decision by yourself. Don't simply hit your partner and saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. Because despite the fact that you're not together, you still should be approaching this as a mutual decision. So let your partner know that you're considering reducing contact for a little bit to focus on your own growth. This can help prevent your partner from misunderstanding what you're doing. So, you could say something along the lines of, hey, I've realized that I've got a lot of things to work on. And I understand that, we're not together right now, but I really would like some time to really focus on where I need to improve, where I went wrong. And I was thinking about maybe limiting contact a little bit. And just to be clear, I'm not doing this to try to manipulate you or make you miss me or anything like that. I've just realized that I really want to focus and spend time on the things that I need so that when we do speak, I'm not going to be causing a lot of the problems that I caused in the past. But this isn't a hard and fast decision. I just wanted to sort of hear your thoughts and then listen to your partner's feelings and thoughts and take the time to understand their point of view on it. Ultimately, you want to be really clear with your partner that you're not giving up on the relationship. You're also not giving up on yourself. Then focus on your own growth. So use this time to learn about what triggers you, how you react, and why. Focus on cultivating your emotional resilience, your self-awareness, so that in future relationships, whether it's with your ex or somebody else, you can learn the skills, the communication skills, emotional skills needed to build and maintain trust in a relationship. The biggest mistake a lot of people do with no contact or limited contact is that they don't take this time to build themselves. They go out drinking or trying to find some other partner. The problem with this is that eventually your ex is going to find out that this is what you're spending your time doing. You have mutual friends, there's social media, there's family members, etc. Word will get back to them as to what you're doing. Then they're going to see that you're not actually doing real work, but just trying to make yourself feel good, trying to make yourself feel better in short term. So it's really useful to have a clear, structured path forward. And a lot of this is what I work on with all of my ultra normal members, structuring their time in order to develop themselves, develop the skills and tools and strategies that they need in order to build themselves up, in order to navigate the problems and challenges that come in relationships. So it's really crucial to take this time to figure out your blind spots and where we can improve ourselves to maximize the chances of reconciling with the ex-partner. And this is the most crucial step. Ultimately, it can be very difficult to spot our own blind spots. This isn't just randomly grabbing some ideas or reading a few self-help books. You need a step-by-step plan to know where you want to grow, see where your blind spots are and where you can improve. And by the time you do reconnect with your ex-partner, you should have grown and shown changes that your partner can feel so that you don't have to try to sell yourself or prove yourself. They'll be able to sense your self-improvement. And if you do want to join us, then join me on my free relationship bootcamp, where you'll learn the same tools and steps that all of my successful members have used to start repairing their relationship. Just click on the link in the description to grab your spot. Then evaluate your progress. So check if you've managed to start overcoming these blind spots and whether you actually have a process to grow and move forward. If you do want to reach out to your partner again, you want to make sure that you are your best self and you have a path forward to continue to grow and become even better in the future. And then finally, when you feel like you're at a spot where you've recognized and you have a solid path forward, then finally you can reconnect with your ex with intentionality. So when the no contact period is over, look at yourself and decide if you are on the right track. And if you do want to approach your ex and reconnect, be honest, be vulnerable, and be transparent. You can say something along the lines of, I've taken a lot of time to reflect on where I've been and what I need to do to grow. And I'd love to reconnect and just have a chat. But obviously, there's no obligation or expectation. And make sure that you're approaching this from a place of humility with new insights and a solid plan for yourself moving forward. Remember that reconnecting with your ex doesn't mean going back to how things were. In fact, it's best to leave that version of the relationship behind. Reconnecting with your ex after this healthy no contact can be a chance to redefine where the relationship goes and, develop a new relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship or simply just building a relationship again from the ground up. They may not want to rebuild a relationship right now. So it's important to understand their reasoning. They may not have seen your changes. They may not have felt your growth, and they may not know how to process things emotionally yet. So it's really crucial to ensure that you're growing in the biggest way so that you're able to handle that rejection if it does come. And over time, if you do manage to stay in contact, they can still process things and maybe eventually see that you've changed. But be honest with yourself. Take the time to reflect on whether no contact is helping you heal or distracting you from the hard work of self-growth. If you're just spending this time waiting for your partner to reach out, it's really worth reevaluating your motives for going no contact. True healing and growth through no contact should make you feel more at peace, more confident in your abilities, and regain your focus on where you should be growing. So make sure that you're honest with yourself and look at your growth. Ask yourself, is this actual growth, or am I just passing the time before I reach out to my ex again? Ultimately, if you reconnect after 30, 60, 90 days, and there aren't any real internal changes to show, you've wasted both your time and your partner's. So take the time to grow and make the right, effective changes that are going to help you navigate relationships in the future. But most of all, during this time, understand that reconciliation has multiple stages. There will be different ways that your partner responds to you reconnecting depending on where you are in the stages of reconciliation. So it's really vital to understand these stages in order to navigate them properly. So I've actually discussed this in a previous video, which I'll link to on the screen, but it's essential to understand these stages of reconciliation to be able to respond effectively when you are talking with your partner. So I'll leave you with that video on the steps of reconciliation, and I'll see you over there.